Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Hello there. Please like and subscribe. Let's go back to our previous topic dito sa ating psych assessment. Okay, disclaimer lang po. This video is for my reviewer and hopefully na makatulong ito sa pagre-review nyo katulad ko. Okay, let's start now. So, let's stop. The topic we have today is utility. Ano nga ba yung utility? Utility, this is the usefulness or practical value of testing to improve efficiency. It also used to refer to the usefulness or practical value of a training program or intervention. Okay? So that, ano nga po ba yung index of utility? The index of utility is the practical value of the information derived from scores on the test. These test scores are said to have utility if they're used in a particular situation, help us to make better decision. This is in a sense of being more cost-effective. Okay? So that, ano nga po ba yung mga factors that affect a test utility? First we have psychometric soundness. This is a test must be reliable to be valid, and it must be valid to be useful. Okay? However, not all valid tests are useful. Generally speaking, the highly and related validity of the test scores for making a particular decision, the higher the utility of the test is likely to be. This ang connection niya sa utility has more to do with the behavior of the test target user, that test takers. Second of the factor is the cost. It refers to disadvantage, losses, or expenses in both economic and non-economic terms. In economic, relating to expenditures associated with testing or not testing. Excuse me. Funds allowed to pursue on the test and the test administration. Okay? For non-economic naman po, this is related to non-monetary factors such as good working environment, competent employee, and so on. Last but not the least of the factors is the benefits. It refers to profit, gains, or advantage in both economic and non-economic terms. Okay? The economic cost of administering tests can be worth with if the result is certain non-economic benefits. Okay? Psychometrically sound test of particular value is worth paying for, even when the dollar cost is high, if the potential benefits of its use are also high, or if the potential cost of not using it are high. Okay? For the costs and benefits cannot be considered solely in monetary terms. Okay? So let's proceed. Ano nga po ba yung utility analysis? Okay? Okay? Kung nakaabot ka man dito sa video nito, please comment down kung nasan ka man ngayon para alam ko kung hanggang saan nakaabot ang video kong ito. Okay? Let's proceed. Utility analysis. A family of techniques that entails a cost-benefit analysis designed to yield information relevant to a decision about the usefulness and or a practical value of a tool of assessment. Okay? It is an umbrella term covering various ngayon no? Dami dumadaan sa amin ngayon. Saan na ba tayo? In the various utility. It's an umbrella term covering various possible methods, each inquiring various kinds of data to be inputted and yielding various kinds of input. Rinig kaya to sa background, so yeah. Also, the utility analysis, some are far sophisticated, using mathematical models and strength. Some are pretty straightforward. This analysis, the utility analysis, will help make decision regarding whether one test or testing program is preferable to another test for use for a specific purposes, or one tool of assessment, for example, is test is preferable to another tool of assessment, for instance, behavioral observation for a specific purpose. Okay? And in addition of one or more tests that are already in use is preferable for a specific purpose. No testing or assessment is preventable to any testing or assessment. Okay? The endpoint of utility analysis is typically an educated decision about which of many possible courses of action is optimal. Okay? So, yan. Ang tanong, how is utility analysis conducted? Okay? There are two general approach to utility analysis. We have first expectancy data or a table. Okay? It can improve an indication of the likelihood that a test takers will score within some interval or interval of scores on a criterion measure, an interval that may be categorized as passing, acceptable, or failing. Okay? In terms of utility, for example, the test is working as it should be. And by instituting this new test on a parameter or a permanent basis, the company could reasonably expect to improve its productivity. Okay? So, yun guys, tuloy-tuloy tayo. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Okay? Dito na tayo kay Taylor Russell Douglas. This provide an estimated of the extent to which inclusive of a particular test in the selection system will improve selection. The tables provide an estimate of the percentage of the employees hired by the use of a particular test who will be successful at their increase over current procedures, and the latter for a while. Yeah. Ayan, balik tayo dito sa kay Taylor. The tables again, it will provide an estimated of percentage of employee hired by the use of a particular test who will be successful at their increase over current procedures, and the latter by determining the increase in average score on some creation measure. With both tables, the validity coefficient used must be one obtained by current validation procedures, because it is obtained with respect to current employees hired by the selection procedures and by selection process in effect at the time of the study. Okay? So, meron dito nakapaloob na test validity where compute validity coefficient, selection ratio. This is the formula of selection ratio. Okay? This is numerical value that reflect the relationship between the numbers of people to be hired and the number of the people available to be hired. Okay? Formula nito is selection ratio is equal the number of hired candidates over the total number of candidates. Okay? Let's proceed to the base rate. Base rate is the percentage of the people hired under the existing system for the particular position. Okay? mag-text. Ay, double click ba na? So, yan. Dito naman po tayo kay Nylor Shine Topless. Okay, dito naman po tayo. Pero for more information about the test validity, okay? Test validity, this is the value assigned for the test validity is the computed validity coefficient, okay? So, selection ratio naman po. Selection ratio, a numerical value that reflect the relationship between the numbers of the people to be hired and the number of the people available to be hired. For instance, if there are 50 positions and 100 applicants, then the selection ratio is 50/100 or 50. Okay? Let's proceed to our base rate. Base rate is reflect to a percentage of people hired under the existing system for a particular position. For instance, if a field employs 25 computer programmers and 20 are considered successful, the base rate would be 80. Okay? To the use of Taylor-Russell tables, we have to use the three information like map coordinates. Okay, the resulting numbers is the percentage of future employees who will be successful if a particular test is used. Okay, ano nga ba yung mga limitation na naka-include dito? First is the relationship between the predictor, the test, and the criterion, the rating of the performance on the job. Okay? This must be linear. Okay? Second, the potential difficulty of identifying a criterion score that separate successful from unsuccessful employees. Okay? Let's proceed na sa ating Naylor Shine Topless. Okay, ano nga po ba ito? It entails obtaining the difference between the means of a selected and unselected group to drive an index of what the test is adding to already established procedures. It tells us like the likely average increase in criterion performance as a result of using a particular test or intervention. Also provides selection ratio needed to achieve a particular increase in criterion performance. Okay? The potential problem of the Taylor-Russell tables were avoided by Naylor Shine tables. Okay? It provide an indication for the difference in average criterion success criterion scores For the selected group as compared with a original group, but both tables can assist in judging the utility of a particular test. The former by determining the increasing over current procedures, and the latter by determining the increase in average score on some creation measure. With both tables, the validity coefficient used must be one obtained by current validation procedure because it is obtained with respect to the current employees hired by the selection process in affecting time of the study. Okay, let's proceed to the second. Ito naman po yung pangalawa, Brogden, Cronbach, Glesser. This is a utility formula. It is used when computing the amount of money an organization would save if it used the test to select employees. It is a method of ascertaining the extent to which an organization will benefit from the use of a particular selection system. Okay? This utility formula is a five item of information must be known. First is the number of the employees hired for a given position per year. Second, the average tenure or the average amount of time that employees in the given potential hired to stay with the company. Third, the creation-related validity obtained through criterion study or validity generation. Okay? Fourth, the standard deviation of performance in dollars. For instance, 40% rule. This is a good estimate of the difference in performance between an average and a good worker. One standard deviation away in performance is 40% of the employee's annual salary. The fifth is the mean standard predictors score of selecting applicants. Okay? So yun guys don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell para lagi kayong updated sa video natin. Okay? So yan, we have a gain. This is estimate of the benefits of using a particular test. Okay. Productivity gains. an estimated increase in work output. Okay? Some are particular consideration is the CAT score. In the US, in the US tuloy, CAT score. I think this is a distinction can be made between a relative CAT score and fixed CAT score. Okay? Reference point for or CAT score, it is used to divide a set of data into two or more classification. Sa relative or norm reference CAT scores naman po, this is based on norm related consideration rather than on the relationship of the test score to a creation. The CAT score in use would be relative to the source and to the scores achieved by a target group. Okay? We have also a fixed or absolute CAT score. This is typically set with reference to a judgment considering a minimum level of proficiency required to be included in a particular classification based on a criterion. Okay? At this is distinction can be also made between the terms multiple CAT scores and multiple handless. Okay? Multiple CAT score naman po is used to two or more CAT scores with reference to one predictor for the purpose of categorizing test takers. Okay? For instance, 99 to 90 is equal to A. Okay? Kapag nag-grades po tayo. Kapag 89 to 80 naman po, yung score or grade is letter B. And so on. Okay? Multi-stage or multiple hundreds, this is achievement of a particular CAT score on one test is necessary in order to advance to the next stage of evaluation in the selection process. For instance, from GPA to administration test, going to administration view, and so on. Okay? Each of these stage entails unique demands and the CAT scores to be useful meet or handless to be overcome if an applicant is to proceed to the next stage. Sa meron naman din po tayong tinatawag na compensatory model of selection, which is called balance out. This is a high scores on the attribute can, or in fact, balance out or compensate for low score on another attributes. For instance, a person strong in some areas and weak in other can perform as successfully in a position as a person with moderate abilities in all areas relevant to the position in question. Okay, the individual or the entity making the selection will differently weight the predictors being used in order to arrive at a total score. Multiple regression is the statistical technique used in this model. Okay? Hindi ko pa pala nalipat kanina. Ito po yun na. Meron tayong fixed cut score, relative cut score, multiple cut score, ang daming cut score, diba? Multiple 100, compensatory model of selection. There is some particular consideration. Okay? So, this is a method for setting cut score. We have Anghoff method. It is a method for setting fixed cut score that can be applied to personnel selection tasks, and second, to questions regarding the presence or the absence of a particular trait, attributes, or ability. Okay, sino nga ba yung nakatype first nito? This is William Anghoff. Okay? This is also the judgment of the experts are average to yield cut score for the test. Okay? Ito yun si Anghoff, ha? Hindi na yun. Okay? Si Anghoff method. Okay? Pagpasensyaan nyo na po yung mga pagbabasa ko na para sa inyo wrong term or wrong reading. Basta binasa ko lang to sa aking app na makakaya. So, ayan. Person who score at or above the cut score are considered high enough in the ability to be hired or to be sufficient high in the trait, attributes, or ability of interest. Okay, yun po yung Anghoff. This method is work as well as long as the experts agree. The disadvantage naman po nito is when there is low reliability and the major disagreement regarding how certain populations of test takers should respond to the item. Okay? Let's proceed to the known groups method. Okay? Yan. Ano ba tayo dyan? Known groups. This is a known groups method or methods of contrasting groups. Okay? The researchers or administrators at the same time test to two different groups First is known to process, and the second is not to process as a trait, trait, attributes, or ability. Okay, the data are collected and used to choose the score that best discriminates the two groups from each other. Okay, which is the scores at the point of a lesson difference between the two groups. Okay, the advantage naman po nito, disadvantage is determined of whether where to set the cutoff score is inherently affected by the composition of the contrasting group. No standard set of guidelines exists for choosing the contrasting group. Okay? Let's proceed to our IRT-based method. This is a cut score. Cut scores are typically set based on test takers' performance across all the items on the test. Some point of the total number of the item on the test must be scored correct, or in a way that indicates the test takers test takers possesses the target trait or attribute. In order for the test takers to pass the test, or to deem to possess the target trait or attribute. Okay? Yan, para kita. And ito pong ang off method and no groups method are both based in classical test theory. Okay? In the IRT framework, each item is associated with a particular level of difficulty. Okay? In order to pass the test taker must answer the items that are deemed to be above some minimum level of difficulty, which is determined by expert and services as the cut score. Okay? We have a item mapping method. This is used in determining the difficulty level reflected by a cut score. Okay guys, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, okay? This item mapping method, it entails the agreement of items in histogram, which each column in the histogram containing items deemed to be equivalent value. Okay? In the item mapping method, judge who have been trained regarding minimal competence required are presented with sample item from each column and are asking whether or not a minimal competent licensed individual would answer those items correctly about half the time. If so, a difficulty level is set as the cut score. If not, the process continues until the approach difficulty level has been selected. Okay? Sa bookmark method naman po, this is typical use in academic application. Okay? It begins with the with training of expert with regard to the minimal knowledge, skills, and or abilities that test takers should possess in order to pass. Okay? In this method of the bookmark, the experts are given a book of items with one item printed per page such that items are arranged in an ascending order of difficulty. Okay? The expert then place a bookmark between the two pages or the two items that are demanded to separate test takers who have acquired the minimal knowledge, skill, and or the abilities from those who have not. Okay? The bookmark serve as the cut score. Okay? Get it? Kuha ba? Did you get it? Kung hindi mo gets, hindi ka ba gets? So, ayun. We have other methods. Okay? Unahin natin siguro ito. Method of predictive field. Okay? This is a technique for setting cut score which took into account the number of positions to be filled, projection regarding the likelihood of offer acceptance, and the distribution of applicant scores. Okay? Dito naman tayo sa discriminant analysis. This is also called discriminant function analysis. These techniques are typically used to shed light on the relationship between identified variables such as score on the battery of the test, and two, in some cases more. Okay? And in some cases more, naturally occurring groups such as person judged to be successful at a job and the person judged unsuccessful at a job. Okay? So yun guys, masyado na ring mahaba ito. Dito ko na po ito puputulin ang video na ito. Please don't forget to subscribe. Help me to get 1 million subscriber. Okay? Thank you and God bless. Bye-bye.